Hi, Valentina.
Hello, Tessy. So nice seeing you.
So nice to see you as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
So, I met Valentina today. Yes, you heard right, today. Because Valentina contacted me on Instagram after seeing the Zoom o'clocks that I have done already with other people and asked me if her story would be inspiring and interesting enough to be on Zoom o'clocks as well. So here we are, because I think Valentina's story is amazing. Let me tell you in a nutshell why, and then we let Valentina talk about it in her own way, because it's all about Valentina today and all about Tourists with Kids. So Valentina, as far as I know, is a mother who travels with her children all year round, 24/7. So the children are kind of like homeschooled all the time. She works on the way. She's with her husband traveling, I assume, and all of these amazing things that make a nomadic family, a 24/7, a 21st century nomadic family. Really cool. But let's hear what Valentina has to say about it, because I think she has some amazing stories to share with us. Valentina, would you be so kind?
Thank you very much, Tessy, for your kind introduction. So yes, we have quite an unordinary lifestyle. We are just an ordinary family from Luxembourg. And after years being entrepreneurs in the wine business, we didn't feel that we were living our purpose or the life that we wished to have time more with our children, with our family, to discover new things, to travel around, to live our passion. We didn't feel to be on this path in life, and we decided to completely change our life and quit the wine business and take an RV and travel the world.
That's amazing. So when did that start, and where are you right now?
So this started, we have this New Year's resolutions always, like many people probably do. And this is something that was the point for us, looking on the coming new year and asking ourselves, so what do we want to achieve for this year? Where do we want to be at the end of the year? And normally it would be business figures that we would come into our mind, but this time it was different. It didn't motivate us anymore. We wanted something else. We felt that the path we are on didn't motivate us. It was not something that we wanted to progress in. We wanted to change, and this was 2 years ago. So we started to design, to think, to prepare our travel. And a year ago, we left.
That's amazing. So when you say you prepared, so you did like a whole roadmap trip. We're gonna go there, we're gonna go there. And also, how long do you stay in each country, and how do you live there? Do you work there? Do you just stay there? How does it work?
So we mainly prepared, on the budgetary side, going from the business to changing the field. So we started to look for collaboration partners. We started to look for ways how we could maybe live this nomadic lifestyle if we give up the wine business, which would be the sources of income. And this is something what on Instagram it might sometimes look so easy, but there is hard work behind that, what is not always maybe displayed on the social media.
Oh, I agree with you. I, I think it's really important for people to know that what you see on social media and on Instagram is maybe 0.001% of a person's life,
Yeah.
let alone a day. I put one post a day, and I find it hilarious when I see them in these people magazines, for example, the trashy one in Luxembourg, that they make judgments on the picture and put it completely out of context. So I do know exactly what you mean. And it's really important to know that Instagram should be there to be positive, and that's what you're doing. You're trying to show the nice side of being a nomadic family, and just to say, hey, this is us, you know, we're trying our best, and this is when we're having a good time, right?
Yes, exactly. I think, this is just a moment, a fraction, and it doesn't mean that you are not having a hard time or that you are not having challenges in life. That doesn't mean, it's just which focus are you going to put on?
Absolutely. So when you say challenges, just as curiosity, what was the craziest thing that happened to you guys that last year?
So in general, traveling with children is already a huge challenge. There can be, tantrums. There can be meltdowns. There is some, you're in the unknown, so we are also stressed. And when the kids come on top with their, out of routine behavior, it can be difficult. These moments we experience them. You will not find them on the Instagram though, not because we don't want to show it, but because when my child is crying, my first reaction is not to take a phone, to take a video or a picture. It's just, I want to comfort my child in these situations. And yes, so we face them, traveling with children is difficult. It is challenging. Trying to combine the school, the homeschooling is also not an easy one. And also what I realized is when we came back to Luxembourg for the birth of our fourth child, and there I realized how I miss the community.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. So you just had another one, a little one.
Yes, exactly. Yes, she's 5 months old already. So we left when she was 2, back on road. And yes, now she's 5. And we were 2 months in Luxembourg. And there I had the chance to meet friends. And I met you on TEDx. You
Oh,
were speaking there.
oh, yes.
Amazing talk.
Thank you so much. That is so kind of you. Yes, of course, on TEDx, absolutely in Luxembourg. So, so where are you now? Are you in Luxembourg during Corona lockdown?
No, we were not already in Luxembourg. We were in Israel and we flew to Greece. And after that, the Corona lockdown has started. And we are here in a quite remote place and Peloponnese Peninsula. And we felt staying here is safer because it's out of the big cities than going to Luxembourg. And we just wanted to wait and see here.
Ah, yes, of course. And so when you say with the homeschooling, what curriculum are you doing with your children? So are you doing the one that is asked for you in Luxembourg? Is an international curriculum? And how do you find the material?
So we follow the curriculum of Luxembourg government, but I like to use the German curriculum into it because it's just, I really like it. I grew up in Austria and I am attached to it. So we use this a lot. And then basically the kids learn so much on the road. The knowledge, English, for instance, our oldest one, she's 7. She picked up English because this is the only language she can communicate. So she picked that up on the road. And that's something what I like about the homeschooling is that they are learning the whole picture. They are learning it applied. It's so different to the situation now. This is really, really hard what parents are in now. The quarantine school, this is hard. This is survival mode.
Mm. Oh yeah, for sure. I am with you on that. It's okay, but yeah, there's some better days and some worse days for sure. But oh, okay, so really interesting. Well, also what is interesting for me as a nomadic mother, for you, for example, because your kids are different ages, so different homeschooling curriculums. How do you manage?
Yeah. That's something what I'm wondering also. So, like you have, there are good days and there are bad days. In general, I have noticed that something that works well for us is giving them responsibility. Um, The bigger child, she's 7 and 5. So especially the 7-year-old, that's the first grade. She knows what I expect from her during the week, not maybe per day, but during the week. And then she's in charge finding these times of the day when she can learn the best. So I would remind her, like, Sophia, we have planned to do this and that. And it has to be done, so find a good moment. And it's working really well because she finds her moments where she's super efficient. Instead of when I think like, now we sit down, then it's more a hustle, then it's that it creates tense situations. So this worked really well for us. With the first grade, it's still it's still possible. The workload is not so high. We will see how it evolves.
Absolutely. So when you say, you did the budget for the traveling and everything, how long do you have left? And where will you go back to? Where will be home after the nomadic lifestyle?
So we always do consider Luxembourg as our home. We are just so attached to that country, and we love that country. Although my husband and I, we are foreigners, but we are since 10 years in Luxembourg, and we feel really home in Luxembourg. So I guess this will always stay our home despite the weather and despite everything that we all complain. But when will it end? That's a good question. I don't know. We first thought we will travel for a few months, but we are getting more into the collaborations with partners. And before the whole Corona, it had a very good positive outlook. I think we will see now how the situation will be post-Corona, how the budgets will be from the companies, how the priorities will be from the companies, and how we all manage to adapt and reorient ourselves.
Okay, so you're doing consultancy work on the road. That's when you talk about collaborations.
Yes, so we do digital content creation for the companies, for the tour offices, for the hotel chains, for the rental companies. This is what we do. We do also branding consulting from our entrepreneur world, and we do social media management, all those kind of things, staying flexible. And also what is our deepest wish is to inspire families, to help families, to give them courage to travel with their children.
That's beautiful. And it's so important. And I agree with you. I traveled so much with my kids, and I find it so important because, as you say, I see for myself, it's not just only a beautiful bonding moment between my two sons and myself, but it's also, they learn so much. They're like little sponges and they love it. Their eyes are shiny when they see new things, when they meet new people, and it's really nice. I can only vouch for that as well. So I'm totally in your camp with that. So so now you're in Greece and the kids. So which country, as you're already on the road since a year, how many countries have you done, and which one was the most incredible experience that you will go back?
So we are rather slow travelers. We started from France all the way with the camper to the Riviera, French Riviera. Then we did the island hopping on Corsica, Sardinia, all these islands between France and Italy, and we came back to Luxembourg via Netherlands and Belgium for the birth of our fourth child. Mm-hmm. And then we have started back in Greece, and we flew to Israel, and now we are back in Greece. And I think so far, Israel was so enriching. Also for the children, because it's very different from the cultural aspect. You have the different letters, the different language, different culture, plus all the history of Israel that is really very complex. And for the children, I found that so interesting. Their questions that they had made me even more think and analyze. And that's a moment where I also realize how much unity we all have, despite of these differences that we might focus on first. if you dig deep, how much unity there is. We are all humans, you know, we are all the same. And that's something what we forget sometimes in today's world.
For sure. I think the coronavirus has reminded us of that, and has forced us to appreciate what we really have in our own lives, because now, as we're all inside and apart from our families, and you cannot be with everyone, you really realize the beauty of what is already there. So that's saying, when you talk about connection and so on, because we're running out of time, I could ask you so many questions. So I assume, you know, the kids and you make friends everywhere. Is that right? Is it difficult to make friends, or does it just happen normally, naturally?
I think because we are traveling with the children are anyhow, you know, without borders to make friends. They make friends, and it allows us so much to connect with people. It would have been much more difficult if we would be a couple. So it's just kids are facilitating. They don't care, you know, race, language, culture. And that's so great about it.
That's really amazing. Yes, I agree with you. So we have run out of time. Time flies when you have fun. So people can obviously follow you, Tourist with Kids, on Instagram. And at the same time, so we're on lockdown now. What are some key takeaways for you to share with the listeners during lockdown?
I would say that it's a good reminder for all of us to remember our priorities, remember what is the most important for us. Obviously, we see that we might have been seeking in life things that at the end don't matter, like we see now, like connections, people, hugs, you know, being together. This is something we shouldn't forget after this lockdown is over, and always set correct priorities in life.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Well, thank you, Valentina. Good luck in Greece. Continue your travels. I will follow you as well to keep up with you. Keep me posted. And yeah, lovely to hear from you. And
For having me.
bye.
Thank you very much, Tessy, for having me. Bye bye.